James, thank you very much for coming in today. I'm not sure if you have listened to it because you just told me you listen to it every second of every podcast so far. Behind the Label podcast, just for the listeners, is about figuring out or exploring behind someone's label, whether that's a business or a person. We know you as James Coffey, great second name for the industry you're in, as James Coffey from the coffee industry, owner of a cafe, green importer. So today is all about finding out about James Coffey, the person, the dad, the family man, everything in between. So who is James Coffey in a few words?
A few words, I'd say.
And a few more if you want.
Thanks, Dan. It's in a few words, it's hard to kind of get it down to. I suppose, first off, that I have two young kids who are at home, hopefully asleep at this time. We're living up in Dunboyne, from there for 5 years, but I'm from Cabra originally, so that you're ticking that box for your Cabra quota, keeping at 50%. That's for me and Mark. Grew up in Cabra, was there for 22 years, then bounced around a bit. So I spent a year in Kilkenny, a couple of years in Sligo, and then moved to Australia for 4 years.
Did you?
And then back here. Yeah. So
Okay.
kind of like growing up in Cabra was deadly. We probably went to the same school.
Excellent.
Yeah. It was without you. It was in Becklands. Went to college in Blanche for a couple of years. Did a few months landscape garden and design course in Killester. Kind of in between.
How did you land with that? Like,
when I left school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Okay. So we'll go back to very young James. Very young James. Are you into sports? Anything?
Yeah, played football when I was a kid. So I played football for Canberra, which was probably,
Back when it was called Canberra and every called Canberra.
Then I went to Bowes. Went to Bowes for a few years, and then probably stopped playing football at 13, 14, kind of first year in school. Started playing basketball.
Were you any Musk?
Yeah, wasn't
Basketball's a cool sport.
So yeah, it wasn't bad. And played for the school, played for a team that was also called Declan's 96, I think they were called. And played for them as well. And then played basketball in college for a couple of years too.
Daddy.
But college was like a massive step up in basketball.
In basketball times, yeah. What's the standard like in Ireland for basketball?
It's like, I think it's better, and it has always been kind of getting better. Like we were in school, one of the teachers, you might have still been there when you were there, Liam Hartigan. He was, I think at one stage he was the women's Irish basketball coach. And we always had like 2 or 3 coaches in the school, and this team, there was a really, really good team. When I was probably in first year, second year maybe. And then we weren't as good. And the team we played for, like, we were tryers. Like, we didn't win a lot of games, but like, you got just no shot later as came off it. It was really good. It was really different to playing football.
Okay.
Like, it was just so fast paced. And like, I love football. I still played at Astro. Haven't played basketball in 15 years. But like, it was just so different to playing football.
Yeah,
it's non-stop up and down. But yeah, I loved it. Did a little bit of coaching in secondary school with some of the younger teams for a year or two.
And were you sports focused in school, or were you also good at exams and the skill part of it?
The skill part of it, I was lazy. Like I enjoyed school with your mates and that type of thing. We used to have great crack at lunchtime. Like, yeah, lunchtime was just a laugh. But like, I like things like, I like geography. That was my like probably strongest subject. I wasn't bad at English. Irish was okay, but maths, like, I just didn't. Languages, funnily enough, wasn't great, but that's what the German, like.
German's easy though, I know. It's the easiest to say German in the league. It's your reach.
It's doing the oral exam. They were like pointing at like pictures to try and get you to say stuff, and they're pointing at a table. I'm like, that's table. And I'm gonna breathe, just wasn't prepared for it. So I kind of, I was a bit lazy when it came to studying and doing that type of thing. Like, leave it there, it's fine. Didn't go. I remember meeting one of the teachers afterwards, and he was like, is that all he got? Like, he was really disappointed that I had gotten the grade that I had gotten. I got one of my exams rechecked, and he came in and he said it to me. He was like, "Is that what you got?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not much better." And I was like,
"It's what it is."
Yeah, and that's how I ended up out in Killester. So that was a PLC.
And were you worried, like, when you didn't do as well as the teachers. Oh, did you worry at all, or were you like,
No, it was working. So like I was working probably, I was earning money from when I was like 12, 13. Like the money's addictive to deliver newspapers. Used to work with my dad on a Saturday morning. He's an electrician, so I used to go to work with him the odd time. Then I went and worked in Centra for a year. Then after that, I was working at Millets, the camping store in Blanche. So by the time I was doing my leaving cert, there was I working.
that's a crazy amount of experience before you're leaving circle.
Yeah. So like I was doing my leaving, I was working in D2 or something in Blanche, or maybe I was in Millets. I can't really remember, but I was working.
Did you? That was a clothes shop. Or back in the say you it. That was deadly. Yeah.
So I was in there. So moved around a bit, like in terms of like different retail jobs and stuff. But yeah, kind of got when I left school, I was like, I should work and have money. Yeah, then couldn't think of anything for me to put down on my CEO. I think John X, the same as everyone else, come for an app to be, didn't get anywhere near the points for that. And I saw this one in Colester, and I'm like, oh, I'll give that a go. I like doing the car. Lasted about 3 months.
That's the coolest one I've heard. So
Just like 3 months.
that's road.
Couldn't get the bus. I had the bus to live into town. And I was sitting out like 18, 19, getting the bus into town, and then getting off the bus and getting another bus out to Colester. And I was like, this is brutal. Like, so I don't want to be doing this.
That's literally the reason, like not the reason I fell by any means. Why isn't DCU and there was 2 buses? And like that barrier was like, get the boat. Yeah, no chance I get 2 buses.
Remember the bus out to Colester, I went out. Do that though. Somewhere out that way. Fell asleep. Woke up and I'm like, where am I? Don't know where I am. I should never have left bed. That's it. Yeah, cabin. So I ended up I left that and I was working then for a few months, and then I think I had applied for Blanche. So I went for Blanche and did business IT in Spanish. Haven't never done Spanish before.
How's your Spanish now?
Spanish isn't bad. I'm actually starting Spanish lessons next week.
Oh yeah, you're okay. So I'll have to. Does that to do with the work? Like that's for work. You know, and you will get to. We'll get to.
Yeah, I spent too much time on DeepL just trying to translate stuff.
Okay,
so I need to
actually just learn it.
Yeah, no, Spanish isn't bad. Like I can get by. I can understand it. Speaking is not great, but yeah. So I went there and did all right in Spanish in the first year because it was very intense. It was like you kind of had to get to like the leaving cert level within a year. So it was very kind of full on and stuff, and picked up a lot of it. Business and IT stuff was grand.
And what made you go to that instead of, I suppose, the garden one you just didn't like?
Just the bus. It was
just the bus.
The bus.
Okay.
And then it was a bit cold in the winter, but I love being out in the garden at home. Like I've not that big of the garden, but like go out, my own kids and
idea
plants and stuff. Yeah,
that's class.
Yeah, it's great with the kids and stuff as well. Like to bring them out and plant stuff. Then, we all this is for like his kind of like someone when he was like 2, him like pulling carrots out of the ground. He was getting such a kick out of it. So it's like that type of stuff that's what like doing that. Like
that's lovely, yeah, because it gives appreciation for even coffee now as well. Obviously, yeah, which you can tie it back to. But yeah, coffee has led me to stuff like the gardener because you don't see. I have an olive tree out the back that's dying miserably, unfortunately, because of the wind. But you're about to give me advice there.
Put it in the shop, just put it somewhere it's not windy. Like I have an olive tree at the back that was tiny, and that was one thing during the last few storms, the last couple of months. I was like, it's gonna get ripped apart, and it's massive. It's getting way bigger. Just put it somewhere shelf with it.
That's so cool. It is pretty big, but we bought it big. But yeah, it will. Yeah. And does it ever fruit your one?
It's getting little old fishy. It hasn't before. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
imagine.
I don't know if a bit like I've had other stuff. Like I've had numerous lemon trees. And they boil them and put lemons on, and then they never grow on. You got like stuff like potatoes, carrots,
and then you cook it yourself and everything.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, that's such a good skill to learn.
It's not that it's simple, right? But like you're putting a seed in the ground and you're hoping it grows. It's not that we can break anything. I know. Yeah. But like,
trying to make me feel bad about my olive tree. No, know when to even harvest it. Like what it looks like, it's healthy.
Yeah,
what diseases might look like. Like there's a lot to it other than just
still a lot of cabbages a couple of years down. Like me and my son went, geez, they got great, they're massive. And then I think we went away for a weekend. We came back and they just destroyed from caterpillars. It was right away. But like is
that because they were just overripe or something, or
just caterpillars? Just ate through the whole thing.
Disaster. Are you hated caterpillars ever since, or yeah? So you did business and Spanish, business IT and Spanish.
Yeah.
Where was that again? Sorry,
you Blanchardstown.
Blanchardstown. Okay. How long was that?
Long was it, or how long is it supposed to be? Yeah. So that's all. So it was a 3-year course.
You did it in 2.
Yeah, I climbed it. Oh, so I did first year. There was a module I didn't pass. I had to do that in the second year as well. And then I didn't pass that again. It was the modules like quantitative techniques.
Even just the word.
Like why? It's basically like fancy math that like you'd ever use. Yeah, the failure rate for the class was like really high because people just didn't go for the tutorials and okay. So did that, and then but while I was there, I was working? I'd gone from D2 to Top Shop, and then from Top Shop to Top Master to HMB. So I was in HMB when I was in college.
Very close.
That's what I was in HMB when I was in college. And like loved it. Like loved that job. It was class.
What were you doing in there? Like, for edge to this. Because I always did work experience there in Portugal. It was the worst thing I've ever done.
Really? Blanche?
Yeah, Blanche, because I was in the back putting stickers on the CDs and that.
As they started off.
Yeah. So it was only a week. Like,
yeah. No, I loved it because like it was 2 things. It was great because you were just surrounded by like music and film and like all day. You could kind of like you were working, but you were like checking out films or checking out like CDs or whatever. But the people were just amazing. Like I met my wife there.
No.
So he met you as dead, yeah, part time, yeah. But even just other mates that I've like kind of made along the way, we're from there. Used to go to a crazy amount of gigs, like gigs every week, every couple of weeks, and yeah, it was brilliant.
What type of gigs?
Everything, like from hip hop, Irish hip hop, dance gigs. I mean, there was a summer I was working at HMB in Tala. I was basically in Tripod like every weekend at gigs.
Real.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, good experience there.
Really good, really, really good.
And what do you like about gigs?
I just used to love just to like going to them. They're just
The social aspect of it, or everything's
I don't know, just a lot of the music that I was like that was kind of coming out then was like just really good.
like, what year was it?
This would have been 2009, 10, 11, around that.
Okay, yeah. I'm terrible with the years. Like, I asked him, I remember when did I got to start? Hey, sorry.
Trying to count backwards. But was it that? Yeah, it would have been probably 2006 to 2011, I think it would have been. But I was in Blanche, really, really good crew in Blanche, really great people. Really good manager who I kind of learned a lot from like the business side of thing, how he ran the shop. And then when I had to go back and do a 3rd year of college, which was basically just doing one module, I was just like, yes. So I was like, I'm just gonna like they offered me a job, full-time job, and I was like, yeah, take it. Like, I just jumped out of it. I was like, yeah, I'll go back to college to do 2 hours a week. Like I was like, I'll just take the year. I'll see how things go. If I want to go back next year, I can defer and go back and do it or whatever. And I never went back.
What was at the end of that year if you would have got it?
At the end of that year, I would have, if I had passed all the modules, then I would have passed 2nd year. So I would have went from my 3rd year, which would have been a diploma, I guess. And then the next year was a degree. I can't even really remember.
But there's still a bit of work to do.
And then, like, a lot of my mates that were in the course, they were all still there. So it was just like, not for me. Like, and like, even school was grand, but I just like, I always wanted to be out of there. Yeah. I remember I was listening to Mark saying similar, like, it's great crack, but just
on the Mind Label podcast.
Just wants to be out of there. But so went to HV in Blanche and worked there, worked my way up to the supervisor pretty quick, and then supervisor job came up in Tala, so I moved off at the Tala shop for a year. That was great fun. That was like, the shop was probably the size of the roastery, like it was special. I was a shop, like whole square shopping set. And for a year, then I back lad for a few months, and this was when like CDs and DVDs and like PlayStations and stuff were still doing really well, and still were all physical stuff. Yeah. So we were opening shops. We opened one in Kilkenny and one in Sligo at the same time. And I moved this up to Kilkenny. I'm assistant manager.
So a few questions on that. Obviously, you're seen as a career path in HMB because of the growth, and you were going with it. You said you learned some business like principles from the manager you had. What was that like? What were the principles, or what were you?
I ended up working. The guy's name was Mick, and I ended up working. So when I started in HMV in Blanche, he was the manager, and like my whole time in HMV, he was the manager of that shop. So I worked for him as a part-time employee, full-time employee, supervisor, and a few years later, an assistant manager. So I just kind of learned different things from him at different times, even like things like how to be doing like rosters properly, like things like that. But just where the staff of like anything from 2025 up to Christmas, where there could have been 50, 60 people. Then we did a lot of our own buying. So just kind of knowing, like, kind of checking reports and looking for trends in reports amongst various stores or within the region to see like what's doing well, what's not. That's why, like, stock management, all that sort of things.
Who were you buying off?
We would have bought from like Warner, Universal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there would have been a lot of like centralized stuff as well, and a lot of Chark stuff that you'd be centralized. Yeah, picking how many you want, but yeah, you'd have small orders. Some of the small Irish companies as well, you buying stuff off as well.
Okay,
but kind of when I went back to Africa, Kenya, I went back to Blanche for a few months as assistant manager, and while I was there, we kind of had a lot of like HR stuff to deal with from other shops. But that was a bit of an eye opener. So I got to see like how to do like disciplinary processes and how to kind of sit in on that type of thing and just kind of learn what was going on.
Invaluable.
Yeah. And I was like 24. No, younger. Yeah, 23, 24.
Youngest in the room, you would have been.
Yeah, that was the young. But then when I went to Sligo, I was the youngest manager in the country, maybe in the company.
That's
25, I think.
Okay.
And I ran the store up there for a couple of years.
Okay.
But
and what was it like opening the stores?
It was deadly. Yeah, it was a week of madness. Like, just absolute, like, we knew the unit. We had the unit. It used to be an old Zabi unit, which they bought out. They bought over Virgin. We bought over their stuff. Some of their stores took over some of their stores. So we kind of had an idea what the store was. But like, you had a week of just filling it with stock. Like, just filling it with stock, making sure everything was set up, the tills are working, the music system was working. But really, it was just like filling it with stock for a week, and you were there from 6 a.m. until whenever.
You find that, sir?
If the pub was still open.
Yeah. It was that late, like you were in that late.
Yeah. And then we were supposed to open on Saturday, and us and Sligo were both opening at the same time. And the manager of the Kilkenny shop, Gwinnett and Kev, was like, "We're opening before that. Like, we're getting it done." And we were like, and we just like, yeah, we had like a week of just crazy hours. And we got open, I think we opened on the Thursday afternoon or maybe the Friday afternoon. But we got open a bit early, because the earlier we got open, the more we were going to get stuff to the tills. So it was straight away you were making money, but
there's rent to be paid.
Yeah, we got that done. Yeah, that was, and then we officially opened on the Saturday night. Everybody was just exhausted. Teams all from the UK who were like in helping us and specialising and doing merchandising and getting all this signage off. And
it was like huge operation for a HMV. Huge. I would never have thought that.
Yeah, massive.
Oh, yeah, if you had to tell it.
Yeah,
so you have a load of stock, like.
Yeah, it was hundreds of thousands, CDs and DVDs everywhere. Now it's just like, oh no.
Spotify, it's all on Spotify.
Like Netflix.
Yeah. So what was the end of HMV?
That was, so I was I was managing in Sligo. And every January I always took a week off, because Christmas was just like 40 days of just like working pretty much every day. Working 12, 14-hour days.
That was just the norm back then as well. So
like constant queues, people coming in shouting at you because you didn't have like the latest Justin Bieber album. I'm like,
oh, why didn't you?
It's Christmas Eve. It's 5 o'clock.
He's a popular man.
Like, what do you expect? But yeah. So we went home in January. Came back to Caravela for a week. I was home probably 2 days. The assistant manager rang me. He's like, "They're after telling us we have to close the stores." And he's like, "Yeah, they're telling us we have to close." And I was like, "Right, I'll call you back." So I rang Mick in Blanche. And I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, we're fucked." I think that's what he said. So I was ringing around and I was like, what's going on? He's like, oh, we've been told to close, just close to see what's going on. So I don't even remember what happened from there. To be honest. It's just a bit of a blur. Like I never got back up. I never got back into the shop.
Well, did you notice like the spiral? So you was obviously closed because HMV wasn't sold anymore because
It wasn't necessarily that it wasn't popular in Ireland and that it wasn't doing well in Ireland. It's that the same as a lot of companies over here, that it was a UK parent company. And when the UK parent company wasn't doing so well, they transferred stuff to the Irish one, they closed it. HMV, Debenhams, a few others that it's going to happen to. And like we were profitable store, like the store was profitable. But they just were like gone closed. We'd seen kind of the writings on the wall for a couple of years. They never embraced digital as much as they should have. I think they had opportunities to really get into it and they just didn't.
But you're saying in Ireland you didn't notice the sales dip that much?
Like they not really.
No.
Not really, no. Especially around Christmas time. Like, and especially in, I think more so in the kind of country stores. Dublin stores probably felt it a bit more, but in the country stores, like people still wanted CDs, they wanted a physical copy of something. They wanted a DVD, they wanted a box set for Christmas, they wanted an Xbox for their kids for Christmas. Like,
remember box sets for Christmas? See, it's a great present to be able to get someone.
Towers, like I still have like nightmares about stacking towers of like Police Academy box sets or Throw the Children sets, Top Gear box sets, the dream. Sex and the City box set, the Friends one, the Sopranos one, the Wire, like just stacking or like 6'5" towers of box sets.
And what happened to all the stuff when you closed overnight?
So we closed, and then eventually the liquidator or receiver was appointed. And at this stage, like I don't even know if I went back. So I thought that week, I think I stayed in Dublin, and then I went back up. To just like pack up.
Were you panicked?
No, because I'd already handed me notice in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I handed my notice in. So my then girlfriend, now wife, was already in Australia at this stage. So she went, I think, in September. And I was like, great, I'm going to take a career, but once she's out there, she was gone for, her plan was like 9 months to a year. I was like, I'll take a career break and I'll go out and join her for a few months. I'm with the company long enough so I could get that. And then I was like, kind of into November, December, I was like, this is just, I was kind of a bit fed up. I was like, maybe I'll just go. So, handed notice in to the regional manager between Christmas and New Year's. And a guy called Jay, who I was sound, South African guy, really sound, passed away a couple of years ago, really young guy, but he was like, okay, thanks. He's like, look, James, I think you're doing the right thing here. I think, I think you're just the right thing for you to do here. And the week later, the shop was gone. He never processed or handed in my notice.
Did you get
there? No, yeah. So shit, I would have really lucky, like really owed him a lot. It was really fortunate that like I let this me pay out or whatever. Well, that was me for 3-4 months in Australia.
Unreal.
Yeah. So like that's when they went under, I was like, raging, but I've already got plans. I'm already out of here. So I don't even think I told the staff I was leaving, like at that stage.
You're lucky you didn't. So I got back there, I was like, you can't do that.
So I remember coming back up and there was a meeting in the hotel and I went over and receiver. There was worry because one of the shops, I think in Limerick, they did like a sit-in because they were like, they wanted to be sure they were going to be getting paid if they were out. But there was no, that all happened. There was no Anthony asked for any of that stuff.
Nice.
Most people got jobs pretty quick. And we weren't like, we were kind of recession-y, but like the Carphone warehouse snapped up a lot of people. And yes,
that's a blessing, mate.
There's a few of them went there. They were like trying to ring me when I was in Sydney. I was not coming back. But
Sydney's where you moved.
So that happened in January, and I moved to Sydney in February.
So just like 2014, 20 or so.
What year is this? 25. That was like 2012.
Okay. Doesn't like be that accurate. When you like about 2012 and you 2012. Okay, so where are you going to talk? So what was Australia like then? Obviously now there's a class gazillion Irish over there. It was the same.
It was loads there. Yeah, it's always been up there. So moved over. I had a couple of mates that had already gone out there that were already around Sydney. And yeah, we care firms out there with all of our mates, big, massive gang of them. So we ended up over there, went up to the East Coast for a few weeks, and then came back to Sydney, and we got an apartment in like Bondi Junction, stayed with some mates and stuff in between, but then kind of just settled into life. Then took me a little while to get work,
And you obviously moved in with her. She in an apartment.
yeah. No, we got a place.
Oh, you got a place.
I was living with her for a couple of days, and then we went to the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
And then I feel like 3 weeks up there, 4 weeks up Valley, or kind of traveling back down. And yeah, ended up at the city and just kind of settled in, and just kind of got a job. Well, took a while, but got a few jobs.
What was the job? Coffee?
No,
Oh yeah, like what?
so the job.
Gardening, yeah. Oh, so I worked in a 6U. I had two jobs. Sorry, 3 jobs was in Australia.
The first one was with, I had to basically go around and count the number of empty desks in an office block. So
That's a flagrant job.
it was like a survey thing for a week. So it was it could have been a bank, like a Commonwealth Bank or something.
The same building.
Yeah, like a 10-story office building. And my job was like on the hour, I had to like start and do like a lap of the building and be like 1, 2,
No,
3, 4, how many desks are. So they wanted to see in the whole building how many desks were they not using. Well, like by the end of the week, people were like sprinting back to their desks because they thought I was counting them being at their desk.
was it working or something? No.
So
That's hilarious.
did that for a week, and then I don't even know how I got this weird job. It was
Well, I mean, there's probably not much more than a week's worth of work in that, is there?
and then I got a job with a Doctor Who pop-up. BBC opened a pop-up shop. I had like no interest in Doctor Who, but HND background, they knew what Doctor Who was. So they opened this pop-up shop in Sydney, and it was crazy. Honestly, the queues for like massive queues to get into it to buy like Doctor Who merch, like little, and what they call little Daleks, the little silver robot thing, and the little phone box now. People coming in full costume.
And was it like a pop up for a certain amount of time, or was it first week too?
We was supposed to be there for like 2 weeks, and I ended up staying for like 10. Like it was crazy. I was like, this is nuts. Like, just couldn't believe that there's like all these Doctor Who fans, and they're all
Man, yeah.
but still never watched any of it, and they weren't like
What were you doing?
there was a huge demographic. It wasn't like 'cause I would think Doctor Who kind of
has to be old.
yeah, but it was associated with kind of the older ones. But like there was people there, like they were 17, 18, 19, big scarves on, the coats, and I was like, this is what absolutely
What Australians are nuts.
But it was in a really cool part in Sydney, so I was in Newtown, really kind of hipster central, like really nice. And then after that, I got a customer service job with a company called Bang Tango, who were like a bit of a middleman and ticketing company. So we worked with Telstra, who was like one of the big phone networks over there, and we would work with like a promoter. Dainty Group was the big one that we worked with, and we would look after a lot of the kind of corporate ticketing side of these. So Telstra would sponsor One Direction on tour, and we'd look after things like meet and greets, backstage tours. That's a cool job, corporate sponsor stuff. Yeah, it was that. Yeah, it was. Most of the time, I was just sitting in an office in Sydney with like not a huge amount to do, and then gone on tour. So like went around Australia on One Direction's tour, went to Bublé's tour, doing what? Katy Perry's tour. A lot of sitting in box office, like just sitting in the box office, and then someone would come up and be like, "Oh, tickets were whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, there you go." Like this, our little window was like the corporate ticket. Yeah,
There's a team of your life. Like, it was you just fucking land on your feet as where he is.
so it's like this is not like everyone's like that's not a real job. I'm like, real job.
Someone had to do it though.
Yeah, someone has to do.
So that's great. What was your favourite tour?
Probably the Katy Perry one.
Yeah.
It was the one I was the most involved with. She did a lot, which is okay. She did a lot of massive Katy Perry. It was when it was on that what was the on Raw, was it?
Or I don't like you don't know now, was it?
That one, right? So it was on that for. But one of the things that I had to do, so I think it was the album called Prism, or it was the Prismatic Tour or something it was called. was supposed to be 12 dates, ended up being like 27 dates or something. It was like the biggest tour in Australia history. It was massive. So she was doing like 8 nights in Sydney, 8 nights in Melbourne, 5 nights in Perth. So I was at, I think it was at 17 shows.
And you were just living it up in a hotel, like traveling, man.
Yeah, there was a couple up there, like,
Yeah.
but again, sounds a lot. I was just like, and this is kind of how I kind of started to get into coffee a bit more, because I had my days for free.
I knew this was an ancient Katy Perry tours and coffee. I was like, this is where I was trying to link.
But biggest here now, or actually one thing on that tour was at the end of the show, they did a big, it's all inside, right? It's in the arena. So at the end of the show, they did a big like firework display on the screens, kind of. And everyone had these like 3D glasses on, so it looked real. I had to source the 3D glasses from China. So I had to spend a few months getting the design signed off, getting prototypes made, and then getting, I want to say, 200,000 pairs of glasses produced.
Oh, that's mad.
It must be more. And the funniest moment of it when I was like, this is not real, we were at a Halloween party. We were going to a Halloween party in our mate's gaff. I was dressed as a clown, full makeup on. I'm there on the phone to Tina, was her name, in China, being like, Tina, these glasses need to get the birth by next Friday. Send them with DHL, send them express, whatever, you just send them, Tina. Okay.
I need to hang there.
Like, it was just, yeah. Once we got them into the country, they could go with the tour and on the truck to it. Like, that was the stress to get in the first batch here. But then all the tours, like, we'd be standing around at the end of the night, people would be leaving with their glasses on or be on the floor in their pockets, and I was like, I did that.
That's kiss bad days.
But yeah, that was, yeah.
It's a serious project as well, getting that many glasses. Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, James, you'll take care of that. I was like, what?
Straight on the Alibaba nowadays. It's 1,000 glasses.
That's how we were sourcing them.
Was it?
Through AliExpress or through Alibaba, yeah.
No way.
Emails. Don't know what to do with it.
Who do you trust?
I think it was just like, they're just like, oh, no one else wants to do it, just let James.
Yeah, fair. You have to go to China to source them. That's insane. So then, obviously, 3D glasses, coffee. Where's the link?
So it's just like, I had my days free when I was traveling, so I didn't have to be at work from 4 o'clock. In the morning, I'd just load around Melbourne or whatever. They'd be prepared. Go to breakfast, go get coffee, and just kind of, like, before I'd left, the coffee here was Starbucks in Blanche in the centre, or Beatty's. That was it.
It's tough saying.
That was it.
It's tough saying. Bakers and baristas.
There wasn't really. You're still there, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, they rebranded the bakers and baristas, yeah.
So there wasn't a huge amount around then, and even then, I think, like, I was just like, coffee, just give us. I don't know how I was drinking, just black,
yeah,
probably. Or like, but probably like just lashing in a lot of milk,
sugar, everything.
Yeah, just like, yeah, filling it with sugar. But then in Australia, I was kind of like, these are nice coffees. Like, these taste different.
And what were the cafes like?
Just
were they slimy or?
Yeah, like very, very Instagrammy before Instagram.
Oh yeah, shit.
Like, they're very cool with the usual stuff, like plants hanging out the roof and real clean. Yeah, baristas that it was all out on the beer, like, just that vibe.
That's where you learned where you at. Like, that was it.
But yeah, that's and that's kind of where I kind of was like, oh, this is like recently. And then when I came back here, I wasn't working for a few months when I got back, and the job I got in was with a company called Social Talent. They sell they provide like learning for recruiters, like e-learning for recruiters and hiring managers. And I was been with them for the last 8 years, and up until last August, and we were based around the Point. So, and we were living in Ringsend at the time, so like I was able to like go to town for year and get coffees and stuff. And one of the lads in the office was into his coffee quite a bit as well. And like me and Gav would go on lunch, and we might go and get coffee somewhere after work or something, or on our lunch or something. And that's, we kind of just started to get into it a bit more. Then we were start buying beans for the office. Where'd you get them from? Everywhere, yeah, everywhere. And then we were kind of,
how'd you make them in the office?
We used to have we bought our own stuff. So we had a French press and we had a D60, but like, we'd no grinders. We used to be buying on ground, or else we go in. We had a couple of different offices. We moved to Kilmainham, and what's it called? It was down the road. Where 3FE have gone recently. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember. There was a little cafe in kind of down Island Bridge direction. Storyboard.
Oh yeah, does that gone?
Yeah, it's 3FE. Went in 2-3 weeks ago. Their Storyboard's gone a while. But I used to go down there to get beans down there, get them to grind it. And then we were kind of like, there was a few times we forgot. We had the machine and it worked like in the office, and it was like the coffee was awful. Like it was so dark, so oily. You're like, I can't drink that after drinking something nice.
And how did your colleagues get into it?
I don't know how he got into it. He just I don't know. He just kind of
Just liked it. Use this already, Phil.
yeah. He's just like top ready kill. Yeah. Oh, better not hear that. But he was always into it. Like he even texts me the week. He has like a little coffee machine at home. He's having like his with any jobs. But
Couldn't afford them.
so yeah, so we were doing that, and then it was, I think we forgot a few times. We were like, oh, okay, if we could just get like subscriptions, but we were kind of looking around. And we're like, oh, there isn't really one that's gonna send us different stuff every now and again. And then that's where Being Delivered came from. So I was like, oh, what do we do? And the two of us talked about doing it, and he was like, you just do it. So we set that up. And like first few customers were like people in the office, friends of family. And then it's gone for 2 months, 3 months, just like different specialty coffee, different Irish roasters every month. First we did was Baobab, which is now gone.
That means you're going to miss him.
In Celebration.
He was kind of serious sales on there. Was he?
I don't know, man. I haven't seen him in too long. No, it wasn't even the Ouija. It was the other guy.
Was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
He was South African guy, wasn't it? I can't remember. There's a video of us chatting on YouTube somewhere. But then he was the first one. And then did it for he was gone for 3-4 months. And about 3 or 4 months. And then COVID happened. So I think by the time it got to March 2020, it was probably about 50 subscribers. And
Good going.
that was pre-lockdown. So it was decent enough. There was never any money in it. Like the margins on buying someone else's coffee to then resell it or resell and package, there's never any. It's a good way of getting in and into the coffee industry and learning about coffee and trying different stuff. Listening to people, meeting roasters. And I met some really good. And who are friends, who have known for 5-6 years now.
So that was about 2019.
But actually 2019, in September or October 2019. Yeah.
But the coffee scene was in a good place now. I think you get a lot of friendly roasters around.
Yeah.
So your first one was Baobab. Who did you get onto then?
I feel like the second one might have been PS. They were second or third. It was either the first three. I'm pretty sure were Baobab, PS, and Carop. Andrew was in Sligo, Caro were in Sligo. My mum from Sligo also have a ton of family up there. So I'd known of him. We'd had his coffee before. Went up and met him in probably the nicest road street, apart from this, obviously, that I'd ever done. It's just such a lovely spot. It's not massive. It's just they have a lovely bit of land and it looks out over the sea and now so it's stunning. It's a lovely, lovely spot.
It sounds like a dream.
Andrew's dead. Yeah, he lived in Boggerfar for 6 or 7 years. Knows the stuff. Really, really good roaster. So I think that was the first three.
Okay. So what was the process? You were buying off them?
Yeah.
Or were you? So you had your subscribers. They subscribe. They pay every month. So you just pick a coffee, send out to them. So you buy to your gaff or something, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, to the gaff.
Yeah.
The house.
I'd buy to the house. Yeah.
To the house.
I'd buy 50 subscribers. I'd buy 250 brand buy.
Okay.
At a wholesale price.
Okay.
And then you add in postage and
shipping's a lot.
Yeah, you're looking at 5-6 quid.
I actually charge on the website less for the shipping than it actually is. Yeah, because people just hate paying for shipping.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we used Fastlight, because you come to the house, pick up, but it'd be like, there you go, man. You'd be like, sales here, you see there. Yeah, right there, buy upstairs on the phone, or on the Zoom. You buy them, package them, and when it's 50, it's grand. can do 50.
Mm.
But then, like, it started to do well during COVID. So, got a few shout outs on things like Second Captain's podcast. I think there might have been something in the Irish Times or the Independent or something. Never paid for any of that stuff. Always just kind of annoy people on Twitter or got it for nothing.
Did you send any? Yeah, you send people like presents.
The promo stuff.
Yeah, no. Not like as in just give someone being delivered.
Gifted.
Yeah, yeah.
To, a couple, but not a huge amount. But like by the time it got round to Christmas 21, it was like 200 or something. 200.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was too big. And again,
And you still had your job 2021. Yeah, you said you only left that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And did you see this as a avenue into a career that you wanted, or was it a cool side hustle, or like?
it was a nice side hustle. It was a nice, a nice look at coffee in bed and kind of seeing what it was like and what could be done. And it kind of opened my eyes a bit to like there is a real market here for this stuff, because like there was loads of roasters, loads of coffee shops around, but it did kind of open my eyes a bit that like there's definitely a growing market, much bigger growing market for this. So it got to the point where we just had our first kid, and I was just like, I just need, like, there's not enough time video on all this stuff. Just was taking ages. Like, I remember before we sent out one of the last months, like, I was at home, like, boxing stuff up when this was like 9 months pregnant. And like, using the ironing board as a table to like put stuff in boxes and stuff. But like, there was stuff off America and everything. After Christmas was crazy. Christmas was just stuff out everywhere. Yeah, that's so ideal. Create gift boxes where we got cups from, like handmade ceramic cups from like Potter in Cork, and we'd have four different coffees, one from each province. That's some of the states and stuff. Like, it was.
And like, how much was the subscription?
I think it was, if I remember right, it was like 100 quid for 6 months, maybe. No, that sounds wrong. But honestly, can't. Yeah, maybe it was actually.
It sounds like a bite for right back in the day.
Yeah, it was 100 pencils. Yeah, that was for one bag.
So you were doing that. You had your full time job.
Yeah.
What's your name? What did you Catherine? Catherine was 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And was there? Did you just nip it in the bud then?
Yeah.
You didn't give it to anyone and say, you can run it for now, you can have the profits, I'll take it back, right? And it was just gone. You had to email your subscribers. I'd say that was hard.
They just kind of said, yeah, I think we just said it's going to run its course. And no, thanks. And finished.
That is meant. I didn't even try and sell it or anything.
No. Well, like, I had the mailing list and I was able to, I don't think GDPR had come properly in that stage, so I was able to sell it, but I didn't.
Well, mailing lists, but yeah, of course, is it like they're so profile? Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's the best conversion rate for marketing. And
yeah,
and they measure you.
Yeah, it's similar as well. But I had like, because they could have, I could have sold it.
Yeah,
I could have
points like that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Though, what it?
Yeah.
Well, obviously you paid for its weight in gold because of your job that you're doing now.
Yeah,
because you still have all those connections. It's literally the perfect segue into that job.
Yeah, but it was like, it kind of. I like being busy, like doing stuff like with the same.
Hence, you're here at 8 o'clock on a Friday evening.
Well, they got catching, so I got to go for pints. Yeah, that's real. We were running, like swimming at the cave and one, and this is great. But before it kind of wound up, one of my customers is also a guy I was kind of new through college, Alan, and we had a coffee one day and we were chatting about. No, just chatting about coffee. He spent a few years living in Malaysia, big coffee scene over there, and he came back and he was like, really anything around where we live? And we were just chatting. We were just kind of, spitballing the idea of like, coffee shop would be right. And just over a few months, just like the idea kind of grew and grew and grew. And then we went to look at a unit in Dunboyne, and we didn't get the unit, which is very glad that we didn't get that unit, but it worked out. And then a few weeks or months later, another unit popped up. He had just gone back to Malaysia to get married. His wife's from Malaysia, he'd just gone back. And the day he went back, a unit popped up. It was like beside the playground near car park. I rang the estate agents and I was like, let me in to see this unit. It used to be a photography studio. And then I was like, this needed a bit of work. And I was like, but the location, like, this is perfect. So I was like, look, Alan's away. We want to get a look on his back, but we'd love to, we'd really want to consider it. And that was I feel like that was in April or May of 21. So I don't think the bin delivery was only gone. Like,
that's why that's what there was. Like
20 minutes. The period last year, 24. Sorry, 22.
I can see how you failed maths.
Yeah. Maybe quantitative techniques would have helped me kind of get there quick there. Yeah. But yeah, so we were we looked at it and offer. Yeah, let's go.
And what's your drive at this point? Opportunity.
The coffee was crap in Dunboyne.
But did you want to bring great coffee to Dunboyne, or are you seen as an opportunity to make?
Yeah, no, to make money.
Money, yeah.
No.
So it's true passion of coffee. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
We didn't kind of coffee. But like we didn't spat fresh this from like. Well, I was always making coffee at home. Like, you know yourself, always making like little stuff at home. But then you're out for a walk, or you're out and about, and it's like, I just want to get me a wine or something. And I just didn't really like the coffee around the village.
So way more diplomatic way of saying.
Yeah, and it felt like also like there's a market there for this. Like there's nowhere else. The closest place to us that is probably still the same that was doing specialty coffee was Coffee Works in Blanche in the village.
And they're packed.
And like they may or may not have looked at that other unit in Dunboyne a few months before as well. May have spotted them leaving it at the same time.
Oh, really?
The original we looked at, yeah. So we were like, if they're looking at up here, they have a great business model. Like they're really good where their shops at.
Yeah.
So we were like, there's definitely a market for this. And we're beside a playground. Like all my mates, or most of my mates have kids, and they're always giving out they're going to the playground. They're not being a coffee shop. Even like the one in the park at Ashtown Castle, there's a coffee van there and a cafe. You used to walk all the way around to it. So we were like, look, we think we can bring specialty coffee to Dunboyne. And that was our drive. Thankfully, that was our drive and not money, because like, I mean, it's doing okay. Like it pays for itself. And that's all we ever really wanted to do. But
we both kept full-time jobs.
Yeah, both of us kept full-time jobs. And I think if one or both of us had worked in it, it'd probably be a slightly different shop. But
for the better or worse?
I don't think it was just different.
Just different.
Yeah. Like we have coffee there on batch now. Took us 2 years to get there with that. But it's there now. And I think things like that, or maybe doing pour over or something. But then again, I'm like, that's not really our audience.
Like, the asset side probably isn't even there for
me. We had this vision. We were like we have enough filter during the week. We love what they give over there. Real lab, proper order. Those food places, we were like, that's this. Sorry, what proper order is now in the new place. But like, that's not the audience. And we very quickly like pivoted a little bit. We know our audience is people from around the community. When it's a dry day, it's parents and kids. Like that's parents and kids. Come in, few flat whites, kids hot chocolate, or just a steamed milk, or kahuna pop, and then it's into plate. That's our core market. We do get like we have a really good group of regulars, really good community base.
Jordan and Gaffo
in every week. The dog that's afraid to walk on the floor. But even like this morning, I was down there this morning, meeting up with we have an Irish speaking group every Thursday. They come in on Thursday, and there's some weeks there's 5 or 6 of them, some weeks there's 10 or 12. I was down and meet with them this morning just because they're like, well, is there more that we can do? The shop's called Ardu. It's an Irish name. It's Irish for Rise. And
why'd you pick the name?
Well, Rise was already taken.
Okay.
But now we kind of like, we looked at a few names. We threw a few names around. Having an Irish name was something that just appealed to us. We thought it was kind of important to have.
It's such a nice, catchy name.
It's nice and short. Yeah. Like it means rise in English. our logo, which I drew up on like the notes app on my phone, and then got a designer mate to redraw it. Came up when we were on holidays in Achill, and the idea of it was that it's like a sunrise. There's sunrise over a mountain. But I think I must have before. If you flip it upside down, it looks like a filter paper on to a V60. Beautiful. Which nobody notices until you tell it. But yeah, I didn't. But yeah, so like we wanted to make sure it was like nice and short, nice and clean, and it look
Like 3FE or Basic Copy and Men, they can turn their logo upside down.
is that the same? So there's
Same the other way.
very good. I never noticed. Was that in the book? I must have skipped that page.
So I actually it's a book. Well, I won't read it until he gets on.
But there's things like even with the logo in the window, and when the sun comes in a certain angle, pull a wall, that's really cool. So just little things like that.
That's amazing attention to detail.
Yeah, that was pure luck. Like that was some
ideas.
Give an eye on the seats. But yeah, we just wanted it like nice and short and kind of clean, neat look of a beautiful coffee shop.
And what was the challenges at the start of setting up a cafe?
Apart from like the financial outlay,
Well, that's obviously a big part.
Hidden costs and stuff. We bought everything. Like we bought our coffee machine, we didn't rent it. The only thing that we rent is a fridge.
Which is onto the coffee machine. It's very important to note that, because it is so easy to sacrifice quality for a free coffee machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and it happens so much because, as you just said, the outlay of financials at the start of a cafe is extortion. Like, so much.
Yeah.
So like, fair play for now.
So we have a San Remo F18. And we already knew the coffee we were going to use. We already knew we were going to use and buy it. And I asked Gary, what would they recommend? And he's like, well, look, we don't. One of the reasons you rent to them is they don't have their own machines. And I also have known Gary for like 5 years. So, and their coffee's great. But we asked him, he was like, we have a San Remo racer in the roastery. He like chat to the lads at Bean the Cup Tech. And like, we went out and met them, and we were like, yeah, these lads.
They're amazing things, but
they're deadly, man. They're so on the ball. But everything their install is deadly. Their after services. Like, if we have any problems, you just try on WhatsApp. Hey, like, this is happening. Send me a file. Do this, and this. Don't fix. We see them like once a year, and that's only if we need to see them once a year. They're deadly. Their service is brilliant, and they're just nice fellas, and they've been in coffee in Ireland for a long time. And so we went with them, went out to their showroom mountain, which is outside Pinecombe, out in Monkstown. No, out in where he roasts in Wicklow. So we went out there and had a look at their place, and they were like, look, this is the package. You get your grinders and you get your water filters and all that stuff. And we were like, for us, we're like, that's the one that we want. That's the grinder we want. And they just came out, fitted the whole thing out. So that was a big enough outlay. That was probably the biggest outlay. And then we tried to do as much as we could, like, painting and stuff. It was a few days before we opened. We were like, the floor is in bits. The floor is like all wooden floor. Priced it up like $1,000 to get it sanded and cleaned. And I was like, well, we're going to be dog friendly. So let's just leave the floor and spend that $1,000 on like something else, which it probably went on a fridge or a grinder or something. Yeah. But yeah, that was the biggest outlay. We were lucky that like the fit out, like the units and all that stuff, could be called Gecko Catering. Yeah. They do huge, big stuff. I think they used to do all the stuff for press off maybe. But they're based in the industrial estate in Dubai. So like they're local. So they did it for us. And like they were like, we were able to work with them for how we paid it back and stuff, which we wouldn't have got if we weren't local community. Yeah. So that was massive. And then our staff, we've had our 2 full-time staff we've had since day one.
That's a credit to you.
That's the last one. And they're brilliant. Oh, yeah, they're brilliant. They're both from around as well. One of them, like, who's our manager, like Emily's been in coffee for quite a while. She worked in Starbucks in Maynooth. So standards-wise, process-wise, everything, just brilliant. And Hannah's worked in a few different coffee shops around the village and stuff. So they're just like,
Starbucks is the hardest coffee shop to work in.
that's what I've heard. And that one in Maynooth is mental busy.
The recipes you need to remember, the different drinks, like on it, even when the different drinks have different amount of shots in them out. Like, because obviously with a KSG we had a few. And I remember like just do mobilization. So I was like, I haven't a clue what's going on here. This is ridiculous. Like a specialty coffee shop is way easier.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine our skills.
So they're brilliant. And I'm hard time was I just they're all in college or around.
Badly.
Yeah. So that was we were lucky how when we set up, we kind of set up with it good. Like we've 3 people that we've had since the stable. Okay. Which is
unheard of, which is actually a studio on Shores. Yeah. Congrats on that. That's massive. And then, so what do you see it as now? Obviously, you want to introduce specialty coffee to Dunboyne. It's community focused. Sounds like cafe.
Yeah.
And like you're just happy tipping in and out with Alan, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're happy with it down as?
Yeah, like the community side of it. And like that, to me, that's what's important because we are like Dunboyne is quite good community based. There's the Art Clubs, the Run Club, football clubs. There's loads of stuff like that. Like, we do every, like at the moment, every second Monday, the St. Patrick's Day Parade committee, shout out, St. Patrick's Day Parade is coming down this week. They come in every second Monday night. So we'll go down at 8 o'clock, I'll bring my laptop, I'll let them in, I'll lay out a few chairs, stuff, but make a few cups of tea or whatever. And they'll have their meeting. That means they've got a space where they can go and meet for nothing and just like plan or whatever they need to do. And that's just like, for me, that's kind of part of why we wanted to do it. Like just to give groups like that. Again, the Irish group we met this morning, we're talking about doing stuff during Shops in the Gaga to help try and promote and do more. And that group used to have more people, so can they grow it and get more people in? I was like, do you want to use space in an evening? Like, I'll come down and let them in. Like, I can bring either my work laptop or I can bring my coffee shop laptop and I can do something. I'll have something to do.
That's Eddie. Yeah, it's not done enough. Like community, there's not enough focus on it in a lot of places. So I think it's definitely a shift now.
Yeah,
but like that's so important. I'd say they're so grateful.
We'd love to do other stuff with it in the evenings, right? Like we'd love to do it. Like we pay rent on 24/7, so we'd love to use it for a space in the evening. But like, what do you use it for? Like, we kind of joke around. Oh, it'd be great if it was a wine bar, wine and cheese. But then you've got to know your audience. Well, not even. Well, yeah. But, you could do that a couple of nights a week, but then you need to buy cheese. You need to buy wine. You need a license for this. You need different straws. You just need, and I'm like, that's a headache that at the moment we can do it. So
it's probably a full-time job if you're going to do it then. You probably need full focus.
Which is definitely, I have a full-time job. Don't need,
we'll get to it.
But, but at the moment, like, it's just, we're bringing in the batch brew. That's how we want to try and bring a bit more specialty coffee in. Last year, we did a brew at home class, like last January, and we want to try and do more of that this year. We want to do things. The only other thing we did last year was Dave from Wine comes in.
He's a good lad. Shout out Dave.
He's sound. Yeah, him.
I am, yeah. He said he's going to go on. I need a bigger stool. I got to go out to his cafe for eggs. Oh, smaller stool. He's too. I want the same height as me.
Tallest man in Costa Rica. So
he used to be a semi-professional footballer.
Yeah, Spain. I've known him for a few years.
Have you?
Yeah. Kind of when he was starting out.
Sorry, I was just out something.
I sound. But he came over and did a little bit of tasting. And we want to do more of them, start doing more of them. We've got 1 or 2 in mind already. But we want to start doing them a little bit more. Just trying to bring that in.
The home market's crazy now.
Our retail sales are like they have for about, I reckon for our first 12 months, they went up almost every month. They're kind of plateau solid now, but plateaued at like a good level. What I think is a decent level. Like kilo legs. We sell so many kilo legs.
Man, because people have espresso machines. I was driving past an electronic shop, and it had obviously TVs, all of that stuff. Yeah, TVs out the windows and stuff, and the 4 signs on the outside were all coffee related.
Yeah.
They had the Longi Sage, I think the Ninja was up there, and so an espresso as well. And it's all just coffee related.
I saw, I'm going to share it in the work WhatsApp group there last week. A coffee blending machine.
For what? As in for drinks?
No.
For bags?
For retail bags.
Wow, that is killer.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the US, and it's like a cup machine or like a No, Mars one. You get Mars bars out of it.
Just retail.
Just retail bags.
In the airport, that would do well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut this here. New business.
Well, yeah, it's like if you have a busy retail store, you probably get one. Probably get one of those cheap too. But like, yeah, just cross that way. Like, it's a nice new. That's one of the reasons that I do love working in coffee. There isn't always innovation, always something new.
Because the industry's growing at such a rapid rate.
Yeah, it has been.
So the industry's growing at such a rapid rate, which means there's less coffee available than there is supply.
Yes,
which is obviously an amazing segue into your now full-time job.
Yeah.
Come on, tell us about that.
I've been in with Caravela Coffee for the last 6 months. They are a Latin America specialty coffee importer and exporter. And so they have an office in the UK, truly. UK, Taiwan, Sydney.
Where were they found us?
London. Our two founders are from Bogota, or Boclunque. And they originally started the business as like a fruit import-export business 27 years ago, and then they moved to coffee about 25 years. So a long time, like they've been doing this for a long, long time, and mostly into London. And then they've kind of grown into, like, originally it was just Colombia, then it moved they started bringing stuff in from, I think it was Guatemala. Nowadays it's Colombia, Guatemala, El Salvador, Ecuador, Peru, Nicaragua, and Mexico.
Okay.
So 7 orders.
And what made you think this is the next step? You just seen the job ads?
We've seen the job ad, and I kind of, so I loved my last job. Like, the company I was at.
So you had 8 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I left for about 3 months around college, man.
Such a great use around it.
Yeah. Not even I know it. But yeah, so 8 years, man. And again, started and kind of moved my way up into kind of a sales role. I started in just kind of customer support and moved into sales role for up. Amazing people. Like, I still really good friends with those people who are still there. Who have left over the years. Very like flat structure. So you're able to I went and met the CEO of Coffee a couple of months ago. And we're like, meet up every couple of months just for chats and stuff. But yeah, I was with them for 8 years, and kind of the start of this year, I was like, maybe it's time to start looking to move on. Wasn't necessarily looking for something in coffee. Because I hadn't seen a lot of jobs in coffee here that were like, for me, a transferable skill set. Like, I'm an account manager, sales. So hadn't seen a lot that would transfer across. And we went to Spain for 5 weeks back in April, May. Because I was working remotely, so I was able to work from there. And while I was away, I saw this logo pop up on LinkedIn, and I spoke at Dublin Coffee Festival last year, and I'd recognise the logo from when I looked at the promo sheets. Like, oh, they had someone speaking at that as well. So looked into them, saw it was like a CRM, so customer relationship manager job, account management job. And I was like, that could be interesting. So I reached out and sent in my CV. And then the recruiter rang me while I was away. She's based in London. We had a little chat. Yeah, this sounds good. Then sounds interesting. Then I spoke to the HR director, who was based in Houston. She's from Colombia as well. And just had a really interesting conversation with her. And I was like, this seems like a nice company. And then by the time we got back, I had the interview with the CEO, Alejandro, and I had the interview with the CXO, who was the CXO, Chief Experience Officer. See it a lot in tech companies,
okay.
Tech companies. So I met Brian at like 2:00, and then they had to move a few interviews around. I met Brian at 2:00. Interview was supposed to be an hour. We spoke for like an hour and a half, and then I had 15-minute break, and I had to go interview with the CEO. That wasn't how it was planned. Just that Brian was just chatting to Brian for like
burned the ear out. Hey, man, did you?
Well, you know what it was, right? So in my office at home, and I've got a few like records up on the wall. One of them is the first Wu-Tang Clan album. And Brian was like, "Hey James, how's it going?" I'm like, "Hey Brian, nice to meet you." And he goes, "Sorry James, I just have to say, is that the Wu-Tang?" Tom, I was like, yeah. And we spent like 15 minutes talking about hip hop. And I was like, this is the type of place that I want to go next. In my head, I'd always been like, I'd love to go and work for, an NGO or, in the kind of charity sector. That was kind of where I would have likened to where I was kind of thought I'd go next. And this job is kind of there's a little bit of that in it. Like, we're not a charity, we're a business. Like, but you can see the impact that you're helping to make, or that you're involved, not helping, you're involved with making. So, met Brian, met Alejandro, I was like, I had no idea how that went. No idea.
I know he likes Wu-Tang.
And then I think about a week later, even did a call with them. Like, kind of when we met them, I was like pretty sure this is like positive.
But how many people were interviewing, at this point?
They said it was down to the last two.
Okay.
And when I was talking to the team in the UK, so I don't really know how many it was.
You know how coffee works.
See. But met Rory and Rodolfo and Tim in the UK. Just 3 coffee lads. And
how much of a factor do you think you owning Ardu played in getting the job?
I don't know if me owning it played into the job, but the fact that I feel like it gives me a different viewpoint. Like, I now see all sides of it. Like, I see what it's like as a coffee shop owner and I suppose end user of coffee. See what it's like from a general consumer point of view. See, I know what it's like from a roaster point of view. I talk to you guys like all day, every day. And now we see what it's like from an importer and exporter point of view, and what they have to do, and what we have to do, and what happens at farm level and stuff. So I feel like having the coffee shop gives me a little bit of insight that not everybody has. And it's funny, whenever I meet roasters, like, the first thing they ask me, that it's not like what's going on with the market or, what's going on with coffee, but I was like, how's the shop going? Because either they're looking at me as, you're my customer, do you know what I mean? Or they're like, he might, or else they own a coffee shop as well. He might have some insight into what we're dealing with as well. So I think it's a nice advantage.
The reason I would ask, because I think I'm probably one of them to ask, it's because it's yours. If you, like, obviously, Caravela, it's yours. Like, I want to see your thing do well. Obviously, Caravela are doing well.
Yeah.
But, like, it's yours first and foremost, and then that Caravela is secondary. But, like, that's why I'd go to that first. Well, in terms of coffee at the minute for a cafe owner, and just being a cafe owner, I know we're going backwards a bit, but what's it like being a cafe owner at the minute? Because you see so many places closing.
It's interesting, right? And because again, this is where me having the job at Caravela gave me a bit more insight, is that, like, I was seeing the market going up last year. And not that it's like secret information, but like every day I'm hearing, like, tell me shortage of buyers in Brazil, the market's gone up this way, this is gone on, that's gone on. So I was like, right, we're going to have to put our coffee up at some stage in the coffee shop. So we're like, well, let's put it up in like November before all the increases come in, because that way we'll offset those increases a little bit. And we're not going to feel, if we put up our prices and we lose 10 customers a week, we're not going to feel it as much because we've kind of made it back already. So it'll balance out. And that's how we looked at it. So that was something that we done.
Did you lose any customers?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think anybody's ever questioned the price on price. Like,
do you think that's to do with how they see Ardu as a shop? Fair, community driven?
I think it's the quality of what the quality is put out. Yeah, I think we do put out better coffee than anywhere else within the village for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I think, like, for us as a coffee shop owner, and you know what, this is for as a coffee shop owner and as a looking for a green importer and exporter. The frustrating thing, what's the cheapest thing in a cup of coffee? The coffee, yeah. What is the last thing that people put the price up at? The cup of coffee. It is the cheapest thing in your cup, and you break it right there. Like, I said it to someone the other day, when the milkman puts the price of milk up, do you go like shopping around for loads of other milkmen? Or do you go trying to find cheaper milk? Like you might, but are you gonna get it much cheaper? No, you don't. Like when the packaging company puts stuff up, you might go look at someone else, but realistically, there's not going to be a huge difference unless you're buying massive bulky stuff. So the thing that is the smallest thing in your cup is the thing that makes your cup, and is the thing that's going to keep people coming back. Not your milk, or not what your cup looks like. It's your coffee. It's the quality of your coffee. And if that's like for us, we won't skimp on that. We won't go and look for a cheaper coffee because we feel we're paying for quality. That's what keeps them back coming back. Like I think we talked about how coffee's developed in Ireland over the last 10, 15 years. People are more and more realising what better coffee tastes like. And I think, like, even there's a Frank and Honest in the village where we are, and we've been told for months it's closing.
That was so popular for us.
It's massive. Like, now, apparently there's something else going in instead of it. Not a coffee shop, but something else going in. But, like, to me, that's a sign that, I'm not, like, ragging on Frank and Honest and their coffee and stuff, right? But, like, for me, that's a sign that people are kind of saying, we prefer that coffee, so we're going to go there rather than here. And they're supporting a more local business that all of our stuff, you're probably the closest roaster to us now. When we opened in Boyd, probably was in Dolphin's Barn, or closest specialty roaster. So that was something that was important, that we're being close. We try and, as much as we can, like all our pastries come from Sourdough and Beyond, who are 20 feet away from where we are now. And he's amazing to work with. And what else? Like we getting stuff from Blasey Baker, they're made in Blanchardstown, down the road. So we try and get as much stuff from as close as we can. It's not necessary that we're like, oh, it's a smaller carbon footprint. It's like, well, they're the businesses you want to support. The ones that are close to us as much as we can. And that
seems to be the common theme with Ardu's community.
Yeah, well, when we set up, we were like, these are our 3 pillars. This is sales, this sales. Here we go, Peck thought. There's only to get it out. Yeah, coffee, community, and culture are 3 pillars. Coffee, we know that what we're doing. Community, we've tried to really build it. And I was talking to Brian from Silver Skin the other day. He's like, we set up a running club. And I was like, maybe we'll do that, right? So we might set up a running club. That's another community thing we can do. And, we try and sponsor or support Christmas vouchers at the door for any local raffle and stuff, schools, all of it. And we try and support as much as we can as a small business. We're not making money, we're not a charity, but we'll try and support other local businesses as much as we can.
Fair play.
Yeah. So.
And then, that was challenges, or we are doing from a coffee owner perspective, from a shop owner perspective. What's the challenges, or where do you see the market now with Caravela as a grain importer?
Oh, it's crazy. They keep
probably should have started with that.
They keep kind of like, I joined and coffee was just under $3 on. Never we were crazy. Closed today at 404, if 415. It's but for me, I haven't experienced the other side. All I'm experiencing is the high side of it. So if it does go the other way, or if this normalizes and out and kind of plateaus at 4 and 4 is the new normal, that's all I'm ever gonna really know in it. Guys talk about when I was under 2 and it was 20. I see these old contracts and I'm like, right, who wants to buy 10 bags of coffee? It's gonna be $7.20 a pound. We were looking at decaf pricing today. Decaf pricing has gone up by, I don't know, £3 a kilo, £4 a kilo or something. It's gone way up because coffee's gone. And that's it. Like the price, coffee the other day was per pound is as much as a flower.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. Well, obviously it's not that bad for specialty roasters. shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. But the problem is that there's always going to be something cheaper. It's always going to be
Not anymore though.
well, but you can still get.
Well, actually, like, just to talk on this from a contract payment perspective, we had like KSG background.
Yeah.
That always was an answer. And I'm not saying KSG because we actually do buy good coffee in there, but there always was something cheaper. Now there's not.
But can I tell you something that we were offered? Go out an idea, and I won't say who it was, right? Because I won't do that. But somebody offered us coffee at, I think, 13 per kilo roasted, and in it they told us to go back and ask the roaster that we use to sell us the coffee to currently sell us for between 9 and 11 a kilo. As someone who sells green coffee, I was massively offended because this was saying that they can get coffee that's the same as what we get, which they can't. Like, they can't get that quality for. If you're selling, you're saying, work it out. If you're selling something for 9 a kilo roasted, what are you buying it for? £2?
Easy, like, yeah, right. Not who was it? Sorry, what were they selling you? Like, as in,
No, I don't even.
did you taste it? Did you have a discussion with them?
No, they don't.
We'll get them on the podcast.
It was just like this for me. I was like, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand they're trying to gain views. I totally get all that side. Right? But I was like, if that's what you are charging, how much are you paying a farmer for their coffee? I was really lucky, right? When I started in Caravela, part of my onboarding with 3 weeks in Colombia. 2 of those weeks I spent a week in Pitalito and a week in Emilia. And I was in Pitalito, I spent 3-4 days on farms, walking around as an experience. Right? It was amazing. I spent a week in Peru afterwards, right, with the coffee collector from Copenhagen. Like, when you're over there, and I'd been over that part of the world before, traveling around, completely different experience. But like, when you're over there and you see what a day is like, what they're doing to get coffee.
Oh, the labour involved, yeah.
Well, you're like, how? Like, coffee should be way more expensive.
Yeah.
The amount of time and labour and, like, just, I don't know if people fully understand what
They don't.
the amount of work that goes into that cup.
They don't. That's why I love coffee. Like, and that's what got me into it.
Right.
Shit.
So someone put a thing, explained something yesterday, like pencil analogy or something. It's like, if you take a pencil, like, think of all the hands that go into making that pencil, from people that have to like mine whatever's inside anchorite or lead or whatever, to people who grow trees, cut down trees, log trees, shave it, people who have to come up with the paint for the ends, people have to create the rubber for the top. Like, the amount of hands in that coffee, the amount of hands in coffee is just, it's unbelievable. Really, really is. And that was even like when I was in Colombia, seeing the quality process, seeing that, right, producer brings coffee down to a warehouse, and we like take it, mill it, roast it, sample it in the warehouse, tell the farmer, this is like, this is whatever kind of grade coffee, it's this much above the C market, this is what the differential price is, what they get paid and stuff. That then goes to, like, it gets checked like 7, 8 times before a roaster even gets their hands on it. Like, and that's just 7 or 8 quality coordinators and people. That's not talking about the truck drivers, the lads in the warehouse, like the farmer, the pickers,
Heroes takes in the ship.
like, it's absolutely stunning the amount of people that are involved. Yeah. So, I think, yeah.
What then is a strategy? We're at an hour and 20 minutes here. What then is a strategy, or like the Caravela care about that? I don't mean Caravela specifically, but green importers, are they, like, it's not their job as much as it is the roaster, the cafes, to ensure that the knowledge of how many hands go through increases. But is that an aspect of green importers' vision now?
It is for us.
Yeah.
It is part of what we do. Like, we do, I'm very data driven. I love looking at, again, like, anyway, in maths, the quantitative techniques that are in now, but I do like looking at data and trends and everything. And the amount of data that we have on bottom is absolutely incredible. Like, we can go right down to looking at a lot of coffee that might have 30 different, like a community lot that might have, 30, 35 different producers in it. You can go down and look and see what each farmer was paid, what the sea market was on that day, and how much they delivered, what their yield was. And we can even, we go into details on, with that coffee, when it was, what the moisture content was, and all that sort of things. We go right down to all those details. But where that becomes important is that we can then feed that back to roasters. Not all roasters want it, fair enough. But those that do want it, we can say, this is how much you pay for the coffee, this is what the FOB was, this is what the steep price was, this is the difference. And we look at, we release impact reports every year. Right? We're a B Corp, so we have to do laws and stuff like that. But we release impact reports every year that show this is what the poverty line is in a country. This is what the standard wage is. This is what the prosperity wage is. So we can kind of say, and then we can look at, this is what we on average pay, and then this is what the roaster pays on it. So you can kind of see the difference between what people are getting paid, and we're really transparent about it. There's no hiding away from it.
Yeah. And that stuff to me is absolutely fascinating. But I'm sure as a casual coffee listener, if someone's what you just said will go over their head.
Yeah.
So would you want to then educate them, or do you feel you're overstepping the boundaries going past the roaster and the cafe?
Well, we can try, but it's hard. And how, yeah.
So it is up to the roaster.
Kind of, and well, the way I see it, it's up to the coffee shops. They're the one that's in front of the consumer.
So I suppose, yes, it's roaster to coffee shop.
Yeah. So if we educate the roaster, who educates their whole partners, who educate them. But again, we went back to, you were talking to Lucas about certificates and certifications and stuff. I mean, I said we're a B Corp, right? But there's loads of B Corps.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
Yeah,
it's another, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
But you look at Rainforest Alliance and Fair Trade.
Yeah.
And again, I agree with what Lucas was saying about them. But as a general end consumer, you see that and you go, oh, seen that before. That's good.
Fair play to them.
Fair play to them.
Yeah.
Coffee's different. Yeah, this must be good.
Mm-hmm. And that's just not my bandwidth yet. And when I say I don't care, or I can't even remember what I just said, whether I don't care or it means nothing to me, I said, because I don't know about it. As in, I just didn't educate myself yet. Yes, I don't have the bandwidth yet. But when I'm in a position to be able to do that, I will.
Yeah.
But I see that as a coffee drinker at home, seeing a rainforest.
Yeah.
And as you exactly pointed it out, I seen that's good before, fair play to them. But nothing beyond that.
Yeah.
And the work that you take to get that as well is insane.
But it's something that impact is a huge part of what we do. And that's why we do as much as we can with that stuff, and why we do create all that stuff. And again, when I say we don't hide away from it, we show the negatives with it. You look at Mexico, coffee in Mexico, the living wage in Mexico is way higher than what you're going to pay for coffee because it's so close to the US. So it gets squeezed by the US.
What do you mean by it gets squeezed by the US?
Well, for transport costs and just everything, it's a lot more expensive in Mexico than it is in, say, Nicaragua for coffee and for wages and for electricity. Yeah, so your cost to live in Mexico is much, much higher than your cost to live in Nicaragua. You're being paid the same for coffee.
Are you being paid the same for coffee?
Near enough. There's slight differences in the country.
Yeah. And sorry, I'm trying to think how does that work then?
But just look at it on the sea market, right? Mm-hmm. Call it £4 today. Yeah. If you're getting paid £4 a pound in Mexico, but your cost of living is higher than Nicaragua.
Does that come down to £4 for that comes down to quality then? Okay. Right, that makes sense.
It's become quality, right? So you might get, you say to AAA, £7, right? A pound. But £7 a pound, so $7 goes an awful lot further in Nicaragua than it does in Mexico.
And in Mexico, so obviously they're going by the sea market, but if it's more expensive to do everything there, obviously you're making a loss by selling that £4.
You might not be making a loss, but
you're doing stuff illegal.
You're probably not making any money. Or a lot of it's just more difficult.
And then I keep banging on about
you could be growing something else. You could be growing avocados to supplement your income or something. Do you know what I mean? So you can try and balance it that way.
So why would they grow coffee anyway?
I don't know. Maybe the market goes the other way in.
That's what I'm thinking. Then that's what kind of what I'm trying to get around to the question then of now maybe Mexico can sell the coffee for more because there's no coffee available.
Remember getting me tariffs last month.
It's tough. Yeah. Fair.
I feel lucky. If it goes.
And is there anything else you want to cover today? Because I keep enjoying the chat. Hour 24.
That always just talk like much.
No.
It's been great, it's for me, like, I'm full time with coffee 6 months, so I'm still quite young in it. But it is a really good industry. Like, it's really, I've learned something new pretty much every day. And in Ireland, it's still growing, still doing well. I think it's gonna get to a point where we hit a fibre for coffees.
Oh yeah, like that white light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do it because, like, but again, it depends what you want. Like, it's the coffee it's not the coffee that's driving up the price of your coffee. It's everything else.
Yes, inflation in general.
Yeah, sure, pay 30 bit for a haircut.
Oh, sorry, you get a hairline's back to the back of your head. Anyway, there's not much to do.
Well, like, again, like, I'll finish up. Say cotton, not probably should be pushing with it. Since the start of the year, the sea market has gone up by about €1.70 a kilo. So if you're a roaster and you're buying coffee, like, if you're buying coffee now, contracting coffee now, the same coffee that you wanted to buy in December as today, it's going to cost you €1.70 more. You're running a business as well. Like, that needs to be passed on. Roasters can't keep absorbing these costs. Like, just can't. I really feel for them that they're trying to, because they are afraid of someone maybe coming in, trying to get €9 kilos of something swept up off the floor. But yeah, I think in Ireland we're definitely seeing quality a lot more. And Irish roasters, there are some brilliant Irish roasters.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, honestly, I could spend 20 minutes naming them all.
Just need to name one though. Just need to name one.
What do you call them? But
You're from Pine.
Yeah. Well, how about a few? Bay from Point Cold, Full Circle, they're brilliant. Calendar, Harrow, Coney in West Cork, the lads over in PS. Honestly, I just keep shouting out. Stephen up in Lucid, there's just brilliant roasters. Really, really brilliant roasters around every after minute. So, yeah, I think Wojciech over there, Sumo, Dan and Sumo, there's loads of them.
And they all care.
Loads of them, yeah, and they're all doing good. I would, yeah.
So you're ending the Behind the Label podcast, saying out everyone else. What a disgrace. What a disgrace, Tom. We are yet. I think that. No, we're going to end it. As I'd say, you gone off to Australia, learn what good coffee was coming back. Customers expect it as well.
Yeah.
So, obviously the roasters are good, but we're only catering for the customers that are there.
Yeah.
We're not driving this. The customer base is driving it. So, we're lucky. Ireland, fair pages.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I took your line. Like you said, you're going to end on that. So, do you want to end on something else?
No.
Shout out Ardu.
Shout out. Going but down to Dunboyne and get flat white.
Exactly. Yes, do go down to Dunboyne and get yourself flat white. Maybe even batch.
Maybe even batch. A nice pastry.
What have you gone a batch at the minute? That's how you can end on.
Bell Lane.
Bell Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, could have before that.